Hello, friends. If you receive Social Security or Medicare, there is something the SSA changed that most people still do not know about. And I do not mean a small adjustment buried in the fine print. I mean a fundamental change to how you are allowed to interact with Social Security that affects every single person collecting benefits in this country. The phone option that millions of seniors have relied on for decades to manage their benefits is gone for a growing list of tasks. And if you try to use it the way you always have, you may find yourself waiting weeks for a problem that used to take one phone call to solve. I'm going to walk you through exactly what changed, what you can no longer do by phone, what you need to do instead, and how to protect yourself before something goes wrong with your benefit. Stay with me until the end because the last section is the one most people skip, and it is the one that matters most when there is an actual emergency. Before we get into it, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell. The SSA does not send personal notifications when it changes the rules. It updates its policies and expects you to already know. What I do here is track those changes and break them down in plain English before they catch you off guard. Subscribe now and let's get into it. Let's start with the most significant change. As of 2025, you can no longer update your direct deposit information over the phone. That option is completely gone. If you need to change the bank account where your Social Security payment is deposited, whether because you switched banks, your account was closed, your card expired, or anything else that requires new banking information to be on file with SSA, you now have exactly two options. You can do it online through your My Social Security account at ssa.gov, or you can go in person to your local Social Security office and verify your identity there. That is it. The 800 number will not help you with this anymore. The SSA made this change because phone-based direct deposit fraud had become a serious and growing problem. Scammers were calling SSA, impersonating beneficiaries, and redirecting monthly payments to accounts they controlled. The agency flagged roughly 70,000 suspicious phone requests for banking changes in a single year. Removing the phone option entirely was their solution. The problem is that the announcement was made through official government channels that most people never read. Millions of seniors still do not know the rule changed. They assume that if something ever goes wrong with their payment, they can call and sort it out the way they always have. They cannot. Here is why this matters so much in practice. If your banking information on file with SSA becomes invalid for any reason and you do not update it correctly through one of those two approved methods, your payment does not just get delayed, it gets rejected entirely. And getting a rejected payment rerouted back to you can take several weeks. For anyone whose Social Security check is the primary source of income, the difference between paying rent and not paying rent, several weeks without that payment is not an inconvenience. It is a genuine crisis. I want to tell you about a woman named Diane from Savannah, Georgia. Diane is 69 years old and has been on Social Security for 4 years. In early 2025, her bank merged with another institution and her account number changed. She called the SSA 800 number to update her direct deposit the same way she had handled everything else over the years. The representative she reached told her that phone updates for banking information were no longer permitted and that she would need to either go online or visit an office. Diane did not have a My Social Security account set up. She had never needed one before. Creating it for the first time under pressure, with a payment deadline approaching, took her several days to complete due to identity verification steps. Her payment that month was delayed by 19 days. She had to borrow money from her daughter to cover bills in the meantime. If she had set up that account before the problem occurred, the whole thing would have taken 10 minutes. Now let's talk about what else has changed with phone access at the SSA, because the direct deposit restriction is not the only one. Over the past year, the Social Security Administration has been reducing the scope of what its phone representatives can process for callers. Tasks that used to be handled entirely over the phone now require either online completion, in-person verification, or both. Identity-sensitive requests, benefit adjustments tied to life events, and certain appeals processes have all seen tighter restrictions on what can be initiated or completed by phone alone. The practical result is longer wait times for the things that can still be handled by phone, and more callers being redirected to the website or an office for things that cannot. Average wait times on the SSA 800 number in 2025 reached over 40 minutes in many calling windows. Some callers reported multiple attempts over several days before reaching a representative at all. For seniors with limited mobility, limited internet access, or no family support, that combination of longer waits and fewer phone options is a serious barrier. There is also a broader shift happening inside the SSA that is worth understanding. The agency has been under significant pressure to modernize its systems and reduce its reliance on phone-based customer service. Part of that means pushing more beneficiaries toward self-service online tools. Field offices have seen reduced hours in some locations. Staffing levels at call centers have not kept pace with the volume of callers trying to reach them. The result is a system that was built around phone access for decades now actively steering people away from it, without making sure that everyone has a clear and realistic path to the alternatives. For a population that skews older, less digitally connected, and more reliant on the kind of personal assistance a phone call used to provide, that gap is real and it is growing. The window to get comfortable with your online account before you actually need it is getting smaller every year. Every year that passes without setting up your My Social Security account is another year of exposure to exactly the kind of situation Diane found herself in. A routine change, a minor problem, something that would have taken 5 minutes on the phone 2 years ago, now requires either an online account you have never set up or a trip to an office that may be an hour away from your home. And here's the part that affects a specific group of people more than anyone else. Approximately 6 million Americans live more than 45 miles from their nearest Social Security field office. For these individuals, just go in person is not a simple solution. It is a half-day trip that requires reliable transportation, physical ability, and careful planning around office hours that have been reduced in many locations. For seniors who no longer drive, who rely on family members for transportation, or who have mobility limitations that make any outing a significant undertaking, the assumption that an in-person visit is always available as a backup is simply not accurate. These are the people who relied on the phone option most heavily, and these are the people who have the fewest alternatives now that it is gone. So, what do you actually do about all of this? Here is the specific list of steps I want you to take, ideally before you ever need them. Step 1. Go to ssa.gov and create your My Social Security account right now if you do not already have one, not when something goes wrong. Now, the identity verification process to create the account requires you to confirm your identity through a third-party service, and in some cases receive a verification code by phone or email. Doing this for the first time when your payment has already been delayed or rejected is genuinely harder than doing it when there is no pressure. The system may ask you to verify information from your credit history, confirm your Social Security number, and provide a working email address or phone number to receive a security code. None of this is complicated when you are sitting down calmly with time on your hands. All of it feels overwhelming when you are trying to do it for the first time while your payment is already late and your landlord is waiting. Set it up today. It is free, and the whole process takes about 15 to 20 minutes. Once it is done, it is done. You will never have to set it up again. Step 2. Once your account is active, log in and confirm that your banking information on file is current and accurate. Check the routing number. Check the account number. Make sure the account is still open and active. Do this once a year at minimum. Anytime you change banks, open a new account, or receive a new card with a different number, log in to ssa.gov and update your direct deposit information immediately. Do not wait until the next payment cycle to find out it did not go through. Step 3. Write down your local Social Security office address and hours and keep it somewhere accessible. You can find your nearest office at ssa.gov using the office locator. Knowing where it is before you need it is a completely different situation from trying to locate it when you are already dealing with a problem. Step 4. If you have a family member or trusted person who helps you manage your finances, make sure they know about these changes too. The phone option they may have used on your behalf for banking updates no longer exists. If they handle your SSA matters, they need to be aware of what is and is not possible remotely. Step 5. If you do still need to call SSA for something that can be handled by phone, the best calling windows to avoid the longest waits are Wednesday through Friday in the morning, particularly before 10 a.m. local time. Mondays and the days following federal holidays consistently have the heaviest call volume and the longest wait times. Knowing this does not guarantee a short wait, but it does give you a meaningfully better chance of getting through. One more thing worth knowing. The SSA has continued to expand what is available through the online account. You can now view your payment history, check your benefit amount, update your address, request a replacement, Social Security card, get a benefits verification letter, and manage your direct deposit information all without calling anyone or going anywhere. For the tasks that can be done online, the account is genuinely faster and more reliable than the phone ever was. The issue is not that the online system is bad. The issue is that millions of people have never set it up and do not know it exists. Now you do. The SSA is moving toward a system where more and more of your benefits management happens online or in person, and less of it happens by phone. That shift is already well underway, and it is not reversing. The seniors who will be protected are the ones who set up their online access now, verify their banking information regularly, and know exactly where their local office is before they ever need to walk through the door. The ones who will be caught off guard are the ones who assume the phone option still works the way it always did. It does not. The rules changed. The announcement was quiet, and most people missed it entirely. Now, you did not miss it. Take the steps today while everything is fine, while there is no pressure and no deadline, and you will be in a completely different position if something ever goes wrong. Subscribe, share this with someone you know who is on Social Security or Medicare, because one conversation today could save them weeks of frustration and missed payments down the road. I will see you in the next one.